Hello and welcome back to the OTB channel. So, I've always said that the whole point of this channel is to showcase, if you like, what I've been playing around with during the week. And this week, I've been having a go at mining on a low-powered Linux desktop. So I'm all geared up. Let's go mining. I'll see you after the intro. Okay, welcome back. Back to normal. So something a little bit different this week. I thought it also made a change from a review because I've been playing around with trying to get some sort of crypto mining going on my Intel NUC and my various ThinkPads. And the reason being, ultimately, is I've just got a new Raspberry Pi that I'm playing around with. Haven't played around with one of them for years and years and years, but I've got one of these Raspberry Pi version 4Bs with 8 gig of RAM. And I wanted to do something a little bit different on it. I don't need another desktop, so I don't need to run a Raspberry Pi as a desktop. So I thought, well, why not try and do something related to crypto? I could have had it as a dedicated wallet for staking cryptocurrency. I could have set up a full Bitcoin node on it. I might actually do that in the future. But what I really wanted to give a try to is mining. I wanted to find out if you can actually mine cryptocurrency on a really low-powered device. And you can. The thing is, does it work? Well, mining cryptocurrency, it used to be possible in the early days of crypto, where you could mine with your CPU. These days, though, most mining takes place with huge rigs with really powerful GPU setups or something called ASIC miners that cost tens of thousands of pounds. And the amount of power that they draw is phenomenal. And profitability for the home miner, if you like, it's always a bit of a toss-up between how much they've actually made and how much power they're having to pay for. I wasn't too concerned, to be honest, about making profit. And let's be honest right from the start, this is nothing to do with financial advice. Mining on a low-powered Linux desktop is not going to make you any money. Even on a Raspberry Pi, it's probably going to take you a year or more to recover the cost. So you do it because you're just having a play and you just want to find out a little bit more about the process. And that's what I've been doing. Why cryptocurrency? Well, I'm a geek, and I think most geeks have some sort of passing interest in things like cryptocurrency. I've played around on exchanges for years and years, not with anything more than a couple of £100, and I've continued to do that. And I've proven myself to be absolutely exceptional at losing my money. But investment certainly isn't one of my fortes. In fact, money pours through my fingers like water. But I do find the concept interesting. And especially recently, where we've seen Bitcoin reach new heights of over £40,000 a coin. And I'm kicking myself to some extent, I first became aware of Bitcoin back in 2010 when it was pennies to buy. And I did look at investing a couple of £100. But in those days, it wasn't actually easy to buy it. You had to set up accounts on exchanges which were not user-friendly. And you had to go to your bank and do a wire transfer of the money. And I had all sorts of doubts about, is this legit or is it a bit of a scam? And in the end, I never did it. And it's a shame because I could have been a multimillionaire by now. But hey, these things happen during life. But it's never taken away my general interest in crypto. So I've been looking around to see what I could possibly use. And I came across something that I've played with this week called Duino-Coin. So let's move across to the split screen and I'll show you what it's all about. We'll set up a miner and the wallet and we'll have a chat. Right, so you can see the Duino-Coin.com webpage there. A quick slurp of coffee to keep me going. Came across this just through a Google search, that was all. And it's a coin, a crypto coin that you can mine on Arduino boards, smartphones, computers, single board computers, which is quite impressive. And mining one DUCO coin takes 10 minutes on a typical PC. It depends what a typical PC is. It took me about 3 or 4 hours to mine 5 or 6 coins yesterday, but I turned all of the power that the miner was going to use down to a very, very small level. I suppose if you ran your PC at full whack while you were mining, you could indeed get perhaps a coin every 10 minutes. But that's quite variable, as you'll see. You set what you want to use. So it's using a coin called a DUCO. Right, fine. It's got some people there saying how wonderful it is as normal. And why would you do it? Well, simply saying, because you can. So it's not about money. Don't think of it about money if you're going to have a play with this. It's because you're interested in the process and you just want to have a look at how it can all work. So you eventually get to the developer's GitHub page. It is an open source thing here. And I've got to say, it doesn't say a huge amount on here. There isn't a list of dependencies that you need to install or anything else. It just gives you some key features, supported by a large number of platforms. Friendly and growing community. I believe they have a Discord channel. I've not had a look at it at all. It's easy to mine. It's open source. Some technical stuff there. And they have an official wallet and they use a Python miner. And you're not restricted to using the miner that comes with it. You've got a whole range of options here, and there's various tools that you can look at, and there's an API you can use, and it's even available in the AUR. It doesn't tell you here what dependencies that you need to use. So I went over to the AUR, and I saw that optional dependencies were Python pip and Python DB. I think it's Python DB. And so I install them. So if you go to the AUR page, you'll see 2 dependencies that you need to install. And rather than installing it from the AUR, I actually downloaded it from the releases page of the GitHub directory, which is here, where there seems to have been quite a few fixes recently. You'll notice here on the page, the releases page, they also link to a web miner and a web wallet. So you don't actually have to download anything. You can do this all in your browser if you want to, and I'll show you that afterwards. But essentially what I did was I downloaded the zip file here and extracted it, and that has your miner in, and that also has the wallet. So, yeah, pretty much as simple as that. They have a white paper here. Let me just scroll up to see what they have to say. I like the fact that they're really honest from the word go. So they have no intention of becoming the biggest, best, or most modern crypto. They've no intention of rediscovering privacy either. It's not complicated, and it doesn't use complicated systems, algorithms, and solutions, and it won't. Because if someone's looking for a cryptocurrency with such requirements, well, there's thousands to choose from. However, and the however comes here, what do we want to achieve? The main goal was simply to create a cryptocurrency capable of mining on Arduino boards, regular computers, and other devices with low computing power. And they've achieved it. Now, I'm not going to go into the technical specifications of what they have to say in this white paper, other than to make the point that often when you mine a cryptocurrency, you mine it in a decentralized way. And part of mining a decentralized currency would mean that you would download the whole blockchain to your computer as part and parcel of that. This doesn't use that. It's very much a centralized system, which technically isn't as secure, that's for sure. Whether or not it matters, though, because you're not dealing with a huge amount of money, I don't know. And it does have some benefits. One of the benefits is that you can move from machine to machine and just log in with your username and password and pick up on any machine that you want, and it all feeds into the same account. So I don't really have any issue with that. Let's just have a look at the main page, which is here. I got to this, by the way, by simply going to that the Duino-Coin page and clicking on Get Started. And it has some relatively simple instructions. Download the latest release, register your wallet on the network. Then there's various things that you can do in your wallet. You can exchange funds, receive funds, send funds, start mining, mine using your Raspberry Pi, mine using Arduino, mine using ESP8266. I'm not sure what that is, but it's obviously some sort of small computer board, I would imagine. Or mine using your Android smartphone. And apparently you can download something from Google Play and a minimal PCMiner to do that. Although it does say it's the hardest to set up. So it's pretty flexible, actually. So I had to give it a go. So as I say, I download the latest release from GitHub, the releases page. It came down as a zip file. I simply extracted it. I then downloaded the two Python packages that were optional dependencies mentioned on the AUR. I opened up the folder and I registered on the network by opening the wallet. So let me show you exactly what I did. Right, so what you should see now on your screen is my terminal. And I've gone into the Duino-Coin folder, which was the extracted folder from the zip file that I downloaded from the GitHub website. And this is essentially what it contains. So according to the instructions, the first thing I need to do is open the wallet. So let's do that. Let's put an ampersand so that I'm not stuck with the terminal open as well. Pi systray is not installed. It actually is. I made sure that it was, but hey ho, you know, it is what it is. Right, so we get this little box. So username. Right, in order to register a new username, we simply fill in a username of our choice and a password of our choice, and we hit register. So let's do that. I'm going to call this OTB demo, and I'm going to create a password for that. I'm going to click keep me logged in and register. Right, I don't know if that's worked. Oh yeah, so okay, it's asking now for me to confirm the password and to put an email address in. So OTB demo. I'll put my password in again. I'll put my password in again. And I'll put in an email address and I'll just pause this while I enter this. And we've now got a box saying new user has been registered successfully. You can now log in. Okay. So let's see what happens. So let's try and log in. So OTB demo followed by my password. And keep me logged in and log in. And that seems to have started. Okay, all good. Right, so let's just clear this terminal now. And let's go back to that folder. And I believe the next thing that I need to open is PCMiner. And we do have a CLI version of the wallet there. It's not very interactive, I have to say. It allows you to enter commands, but to be honest, I quite like this wallet here. So I'm logged in now. Let's just click on the terminal. Let's try and launch the PCMiner. So we'll go through the same process, but this time we'll launch PCMiner and see what happens. Enter your Duino-Coin username. Okay, OTB demo. Set mining intensity. Now this is pretty important. I went with the default of 95 on my laptop earlier in the week, and it worked, that was for sure, but it ran my laptop so hard that I couldn't do anything else. So I'm going to pick something here, say around 50%. Set mining threads. It says 4 for your system. Well, I've only got 4 threads at the moment. I'm going to set 2. I'm going to go quite conservative. Do you want to use lower difficulty for mining for slower systems? I'm going to pick yes for that. Do you want to add an identifier to this rig? I'll say yes. And I'll call this, it's my Intel NUC, so NUC. Set developer donation level of 0 to 5. Recommended is 1. But this will not reduce your earnings. Well, hey, I think developers should get something, so I'll set 1. Have a peaceful afternoon. Donation level 1. Right, so let's bring up that wallet and see what happens. Right, and after a few false starts there, just 30, 40 seconds, it appears to have started. And you can see now it's mining away and my wallet is starting to fill up. I see on the wallet itself, it gives us the option to send the developer an amount of our choice. The developer is Revox and we can send 2.2 DUCO to him, which I believe is the short term for the coin. But as we haven't got 2.2 at the moment, I'm certainly not going to do that. We also have the option to wrap or unwrap DUCO. I haven't gone into what the wrapping process involves in any detail at the moment, but I believe it's some way to get some sort of compatibility with other cryptocurrencies. I may be wrong. I've not looked at it in any detail. So my estimated profit, it's estimating that I'm going to produce around 11 a day, okay, or half or 0.3 of a coin per hour, and that's going to go up and down. I have to say that once it got into the swing of it yesterday, and I was using it on my ThinkPad laptop, it got to the point where it seemed to speed up, and it was producing at a rate of around 35 a day. And I had it running for about 3 hours, and it produced nearly 6 coins, which I thought wasn't too bad. So looking at some of these options that are on the bottom of the wallet, we have a range of things here. So if I just click on them and we'll see what they bring up. Right, so clicking the cog allows us to log out, change our password, configure our wrapper, or clear transactions. I wonder what configure our wrapper would be. Okay, I need a private key for that apparently in a passphrase. So I'm not going to bother doing that now. What does the little bar graph bring up? My miners. Oh, and it brings up the rich list. There's someone there got 65,857 coins, I believe. And this just gives us some stats. What about this? Currency converter. Ah, right. So it'll tell us if I go on GB. Do they have GDP here? Let's have a look. They must have, I'm sure. Oh, no, this is to convert from one currency to another. Right. We'll leave that for the time being. And last but not least, local transaction list. Okay, so you can do a few things with it. But you could essentially just leave this running in the background and it will just do its stuff. As you can see, it's just ticking through and mining quite happily. Now, you don't have to monitor it from this wallet or indeed from your PC at all. You can do it from any PC on the network. Let me just show you how this works because there is actually a web wallet and a web miner as well. Now, you'll see the links to the web miner and the web wallet on the GitHub releases page. I haven't tried the web miner itself because if I've already got the miner running in the background at the moment anyway. But it appears all you have to do is enter your username and hit start mining. I'm not so sure I'd use the web miner, probably not that secure, but I have to say that one thing that struck me is if you're at work and you're on your work PC and clearly you can't be running a mining operation or you won't have the mining app to be able to mine while you're at work, but you could have this running away on a tab in your browser. So I think that's quite good. You've also got a web wallet. And if I log in here, and it does actually warn me that the connection's not secure, but I will log in here anyway and see what it says. And here we go. So it's given me my balance. So you could monitor this from anywhere. So I've got 0.132951 DUCOs, which I believe is what the coin is worth, or called. And it's worth 0.009297 of a dollar. Right, so I'm not going to be getting rich on this, that's for sure. On this web wallet, we've got a few things to play with, really. You've got links to the Duino-Coin page. You've got the Discord channel. You've also got something called the DUCO exchange. And I thought this was really interesting because as you build up these DUCO coins, you're not going to want to keep them in your wallet. You are at some point going to want to exchange them for something you can either trade on a standard crypto exchange, or going to want to have some way of changing them into cash. And this DUCO exchange seems to allow you to do that. You can change it into any of these. So Beyond Coin, Magicoin, Litecoin, or Bitcoin Cash, with more coming soon. So if I hit start trading, you select a trading pair on the left. So I would probably pick Bitcoin Cash. And then you presumably send it to your Bitcoin Cash wallet. And once you've got it in your Bitcoin Cash wallet, possibly on one of the major exchanges, well, then you can do with it whatever you do normally with standard crypto. All good, really. I quite like this. I mean, let's just hit that trading again, and let's just pick a pair. And what does it say? So it wants my Duino-Coin username and the email associated with my account. Am I selling DUCO or buying DUCO? Well, I'm selling it for Bitcoin Cash. How much? And what's the wallet address? Yeah, so my Bitcoin Cash wallet address. So all pretty straightforward. So you can convert it into something that is actually usable. I noticed going back to the previous page, you've also got something called a Node S exchange. And I'm not exactly sure what this is, but I'm assuming it's another crypto exchange, and you can trade your coins on this as well. That's pretty much all there is to it, guys. So that's Duino-Coin. So I just thought it was interesting. This is not a financial project. This is just me geeking about, finding out a little bit more about the mining process. And what I intend to do, as I said, I'm going to set up a Raspberry Pi. Well, one of them. I've got a couple of them. I'm going to set up a Raspberry Pi as a headless box that's dedicated to mining this. And I'll mine for a month or so and see how we go. And I'll keep you updated along the way. I just think it's incredibly interesting. And one of the reasons that I run a channel is because technology just fascinates me. And I can always find new things to get stuck into. Much to the fact of my wife's annoyance most of the time. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this little not related bit, really, going off on a particular direction I don't normally go in. But I'm looking forward to getting this all set up and seeing what it's going to work like. Once again, thank you everybody for supporting the channel. Please come and join me on my Facebook group. Please definitely come and join me on Library. I've mentioned Library a few times over the last few weeks, and it's obviously had an effect because I've noticed that my views on Library seem to have gone up, and my followers on Library seem to have gone up as well. So thanks for that, guys. I really appreciate that. That, of course, has crypto coins as well, LBC, and I suppose that's one of the reasons, as much as anything else, why my attention has become focused on crypto as well over the last few months, trying to figure out what to do with LBC. I would, as normal, of course, like to thank my Patreons. Let me just drag the screen over. So thank you, Robert, Gary, Aristotelis, Stormpix, Stephen, Mike, David, Richard, Ty, Forrest, Patrick, Glenn, Magnus, Skipper, and my latest Patreon, John M. Thanks, John. John's also a member of my Facebook group. You guys have really helped me out over the last few months. I am still in two minds about Patreon, and I think some of you have got that sort of impression because I've seen some of you come in, but some of you leaving and some of you coming back and new members joining, and I seem to stay around 15 or 16, and that's great. You know, I'm not pushing it hard. If you want to, that's great. So that's it for today. Thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you next week.